Happy holidays, hot teas.
Guess where we are?
Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Long Island Tea Podcast. We are on location at this beautiful luxury Northport Hotel, and we are going to get into that with our guests, which I'm excited.
Yeah, this is the best morning.
This is the best morning. We can't do anything better than this. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I think I can speak for both of us when I say we are doing amazingly well.
Oh
there is no other way I would like to start this Thursday than how we've begun today.
I know.
Yeah.
We've had an incredible week, honestly. We were talking about it last week, looking forward to this week coming up. We started out Monday with coming fresh into the office, just really kicking the week off with business and doing things.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday were pretty hardcore.
Pretty slamming, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty good. And then we had our executive retreat at off location, and I think we really accomplished some great conversations, great planning for 2026. I thought it was really well done. We really were organized this year.
I think I've been around for 2 executive retreats, and I think this one, we really came in with each executive saying, here's how I'm seeing 2026 for our department and how it's going to affect Discover Long Island, instead of asking questions or, more. We've already dealt with the concerns.
Yep.
Right. We intentionally tackled that stuff throughout the course of the year.
Yep.
And so this really was about our executives showing what they've got. Their team is wrapped up. Their year is looking good.
And I really loved going down the line, both departmentally and individually, with everyone talking about what their goals and their direction is going to be for 26. I think it's very strategic, like always. But I think, again, doing more of that, more and more of changing things up a bit of how our, generally ran year goes. I think that next year is really going to be you're going to see a change in things. And I think it's going to be, I'm excited. I'm super excited. I love the strategic direction that the marketing team is taking. We have some things that we want to do locally and community driven. So I think that's going to be fun. But I'm really excited about it.
I think also the incorporation of not just the executives, but the rest of the staff.
Yep.
Attending events, getting educated. We're going to have these show and tells.
Yeah.
These all staffs and show and tells, and those are going to be very consistent monthly, if not, if not more, however needed. But we've really shared with the executive staff that this really shouldn't be something led by you.
Right.
This isn't your time to shine.
Right.
Sit down and just show off your team.
Yeah, let your team shine.
And I'm really excited about that. We've said this contributes to improved public speaking and all types of things. And the great thing about Discover Long Island is growth. Yeah. And that is a beautiful thing. So, this allows the rest of the staff to grow.
Yeah. I'm excited. And I think they're excited. So that shows. And one thing I do have to mention is I was talking to our interim president and CEO last night after we left. And I had said, what did you think about it? And because it was his first time attending. Yeah. He's like, did you get everything you wanted done? Was everything accomplished? And I said, and better, Good. And he said, it was definitely a great conversation led by a ton of dedicated individuals. Yeah. So he was very pleased with the way it was turning out too. So I'm excited for 2026. This is our holiday episode. I can't believe Christmas is around the corner. Yay. I am not ready.
Yeah, but we are in the right village for it.
We are.
So
we are.
Being in Northport, this is definitely a town that is constantly being revitalized and more. And so it's just, again, this is a great location. This fire was burning earlier, which maybe you're missing the romance if you're watching at the moment. But even with that going, it was just, this is a beautiful set for us. And and that's it. A great kickoff to 2026.
Yes. So let's welcome our guests.
Yes.
All right. We are super excited to be here at the Northport Hotel and Restaurant. And we have a very good friend, Kevin, and board member, and Michael, the chef. Thank you guys so much for having us and being with us today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about everything we see here?
Well, we're thrilled to have Discover Long Island here. The hotel's been open now for a little over 2 years. It was a pretty much dilapidated, vacant building that was here. And over the years, we own the John Engeman Theater across the street. And over the years, in our effort to make the theater a regional theater in reach, we became successful at that, people started coming from further and further away to see our shows, and in doing so, often asked, "Where's there a place to stay in this town?"
Yeah.
Like, it's such a beautiful little harbor town. If you went to a town like this up in Maine, you'd surely be staying in a nice inn somewhere, and it just dawned on us that it was missing desperately in Northport. And as I mentioned, there was an old crumbled up office building that was here that we decided go through the approval process. Took a long time to raise that building, put up a beautiful boutique hotel. And
7 years, right?
Yeah. Well, it's 10 years. 2 weeks from now, it'll be 10 years from the time we bought the property. So
I remember that.
It wasn't without its struggles and pandemic along the way as well. But it's been received well. And, I feel we bought an East End concept. A boutique hotel, much like a vineyard, like Delvino, is more of an East End concept in people's mindsets. Right. And we decided to do something special because Northport, I felt for the last 20 years, it's just been like this unpolished little jewel that with a little TLC, we could do something special with it. And the theater's been received incredibly well. And we felt this would be received as well. So in doing so, we wanted to have a nice number of rooms for accommodations, but we wanted to have a first-class restaurant. Right. And enter Michael because, when people say, okay, the location of the hotel is wonderful, the town is gorgeous, it's centrally located on Long Island, it's close to the theater, it's convenient, there's all these other kinds of things, it's beautiful, it's not, you don't have to go all the way out east to go to a boutique hotel. But I think many people are not accustomed to the quality of the restaurant that we have here as well, and that I just put 100% in Michael's lap. He came on board, we met, I think we started to get to know each other, and we dated a little bit. I popped the question. I popped the question. He said yes. And it's 2 years later, and here we are. But no, I think it's been very well received. Like anything else, we need to continue to grow the awareness of the place, continue to work on continuing to make it better. But so far, so good.
It's truly, truly an amazing hidden gem, like you said. And I remember you going through the process, and quite a lift, absolutely quite a lift. And it's just really an incredible location. Northport is such a beautiful harborfront town. We love it here. We've actually, as executive leadership last year, did our corporate retreat here. And I think that's something that you guys are really finding very beneficial. Yeah,
that's huge for us. From a business standpoint, no one needs help really on the Friday and Saturdays, just like whether it's a restaurant, whether it's lodging or things of that nature. But for the corporate entities on Long Island, we're trying to expose this place for the Monday to Wednesday. For instance, Dell Computers comes in and have their North American sales meeting here. They take 22 out of 26 rooms on a Monday and a Tuesday night. They check in on a Monday, they have a beautiful lunch, and then they have the dinner that evening, then meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then check out Wednesday. They accomplish what they want to do, whether it's a board meeting, whether it's a quarterly sales meeting, just off-site retreats for leadership, morale boosting type of thing. But I think it's tremendous business for us because that's the time and the period when the occupancy is at its slowest, and it's quality business that once the word gets out with the right number of entities like that, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape in terms of the corporate demand.
No, I was going to say about, we have an executive retreat every year at different locations. And I remember when we got this location, there was like a collective from all the executives. We were so excited to come here, and the space is so amazing, and there's so many different locations you can eat and meet and obviously lodge in. And so coming back again today, this was Sharon and I were saying, like, this is like
golden.
The greatest way to start the day. We talk about economic revival all the time. Right? It's a priority in towns across Long Island. So to say what you guys have done here, really boost that, bolsters tourism, local business growth. So if you want to just speak about how sort of the restaurant factors into that.
Yeah, well, I missed all the fun and the instruction. So they did all the heavy lifting, and, that was the hard part, I think. When I came on, we were introduced by a mutual friend, and I told him I can get the restaurant off the ground, and he just gave all his confidence to me and put all his faith in me and just let me do my thing. And it was, it was 8 weeks we got the restaurant.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Came on.
No question.
But we wanted to capture the feel of the harbor town and give it kind of a nautical theme, even though if you walk in, you don't feel like you're in a nautical restaurant. Like, there's no ship wheels and stuff like that. It's a very elegant room.
It's very elegant.
So we had to fit the cuisine to meet the room. And he just let me
Run with
really
it.
run with
What
it.
is one of your favorite dishes that you make?
Well, we do a lot of seafood. So we have a seafood stew that just encompasses everything that, the catch of the day, calamari and shrimp and clams and mussels. And so it's a wonderful way to showcase the nautical nature of the town.
It's not too early to be salivating over this, right? I know it's the morning.
You've already
but-
had his
yeah. I'm like
octopus
like,
last year.
Keep talking. I'm an aspiring
This is a favorite,
pescatarian.
but we wanted it to be approachable for all diners. So we didn't limit it to seafood.
Right. Of
course.
So we have a steak section, we have a pasta section, and we do prime steaks that are very popular now this time of year. During the holidays, everyone wants a nice, juicy ribeye.
Absolutely.
So we kind of captured a nice mix on the menu, and seems to appeal to everybody.
Yeah, the comments that I get about the menu is that I don't know what to order. There's so many things on the menu that I like. I said, well, that's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem.
Yeah, you're
Because
allowed to come back.
the only comments I made to Michael about it, other than I don't know what I'm doing, make it happen, please, was, let's just make it approachable to people. Make it food that people want to eat. Now don't tell people what they should eat. Let them eat what they want to eat and just do it right. And he's done that in spades. And to your question about the economic activity, it's clearly established fact that Performing Arts Center, the John Engeman Theater across the street, which we also own, that's a cheap plug, but, we bring 125,000 people a year to that theater.
Yeah.
They're people that come into town, the discerning customer. They want to be treated properly, treated as an adult in a nice, clean, hygienic environment with professional product, whatever it's going to be, whether it's a show or whether it's the show in the restaurant or whether it's the show because the housekeeping team does such a wonderful job with our rooms. So we bring a tremendous amount of economic activity to the town every year, and we've been at it now 17 years at the theater, and as I said, the Patchogue. You look at Patchogue. The turnaround of Patchogue started when the village of Patchogue acquired the Performing Arts Center there, and that it's just such a clearly established known. So often, many downtown, we've been asked to bring the theater to other towns. We've been asked to bring a boutique hotel to other towns. Because people that are in government in these towns that are savvy from an economic standpoint get it. These are the economic drivers that really compel. Patchogue did an about face. And as we all know, it's very, very well established now nationwide. And clearly, everybody has their own way of doing what they want to do. But we felt that there was an angle here that we could do this right, and both never mind just the merchants or us, the residents enjoy the revival. They see some things that they never thought would happen here, and it's very gratifying.
You know what we do at Discover Long Island? We talk about Northport all the time, and the dynamic of the theater and the hotel and this restaurant. Because even as a local, I will come and stay here and go to the theater, have dinner in your restaurant, and stay in this beautiful hotel. That's what we do. We drive tourism, but we're even doing it for our residents as well.
Right. Yeah. Every once in a while we see that 38-year-old couple. Like today would be a perfect example.
Oh, that's
No, I'm not 38, but thanks.
I'm not. I know better not to comment on age. But there are times when you see this couple. Like I guess they're probably 38. Like today's a Friday. They could be checking out today after coming down yesterday. They get one of their mothers typically to watch their two kids that are 3 and 5.
Yep.
They live a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
They drive a mile and a half. They come in. They check in on Thursday. They have a wonderful meal, and then they go across to see a show. Then they stay at the hotel. They get a little staycation for the night.
And they take a walk.
And
they go
literally
on Main
enjoyed
Street.
the harbor town. So we see it from all walks, and then we have people coming in from the Philippines or Australia. So we have people staying with us from all different angles. But you're right. The tourism component of it. There's local tourism, and then there's the broader reach, which obviously we rely on you guys so heavily for.
Absolutely. And the best part about it is you have the Long Island Railroad right here, so you can get city folk coming in as well.
That's where our actors come in.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about your performances. A lot of them are Broadway actors.
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but when we started, we had an opportunity. My wife and I purchased this single screen movie theater that was pretty much shuttered, and we decided just at the time we're just about thinking about buying it. my wife's brother, John Engeman, was killed in Iraq. He was serving in Iraq in the Army. And so I said, that put me over the top. We were going to buy it. I was going to partner with Richard Dolce, who is the artistic mind that makes the shows happen on the theater. And we had Richard had come from the family at Bard Hollow Theater Group, where they had non-professional theater, but they do a wonderful job for 3 decades, so they knew what they were doing. And I was of the mindset, let's go professional theater from the get-go, because if we established ourselves early on as a well-established non-professional theater, to convert to a professional theater was a massive investment in the building. It would have been, there's much more infrastructure required for the Broadway Actors Union, most of which is just common decency, but a single-screen movie theater wouldn't have it.
Right.
So the last thing I wanted to do was interrupt our operation if we became successful and then have to convert the building. So we went through it from the start, and we have people coming from Broadway to be in our shows, or people that are leaving our shows, going into Broadway shows, very well established for 18 years now.
Wow. It's incredible.
I think, the upside or the downside for working at Discover Long Island, and I know our whole staff can attest to this, is that our friends and family consider us the experts.
There you go.
Potential thing, anywhere to go, anywhere to eat. A friend messaged me the other night, and she was like, we have a last-minute babysitter, just like you said, and we need a meal and an activity. And I was like,
that's it.
I'm glad that I'm considered a resource, but I will say, and friends and family can attest,
Come to Northport.
this, without fail, my number one suggestion is, have you been to the Northport Hotel? Have you been to the theater across the street? And then go back to the bar, relax, and go and stay here.
That's
and
it.
It is the first, and I feel so confident in that suggestion. And at this point, that suggestion, it's worn out because everybody
Right.
has checked the box.
Like, we've done it already.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mic drop because it's going to work out well.
Yeah, exactly.
I can attest to the quality of the shows. I've seen every one of them. Kevin's always insisted that we do so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that he has, because the shows are outstanding, every single one of them.
And I'm sure you get that from your guests here in the restaurant, talking about what they saw, the
Exactly.
performances and things like that,
the
so you can join the
excitement of them
conversation.
having dinner before and then anticipating going across the street and seeing the show. And it's a great talking point when we go to the tables and interact with the guests.
Yeah.
And just to be able to walk across the street, like even if you're on Broadway, right, in the city, if you don't want to eat in one of those restaurants right next to the theater, because that can be a little too touristy.
Yeah.
Here, it's like you can make that 6 o'clock reservation. You can really have 2.5 hours here, and then just leisurely, just cross the street. And I was going to ask you, I know that the menu is a people pleaser, but if you had to make a suggestion, if someone said, what do I eat here? I'm coming here, I'm coming from out of town, or I'm coming from a neighboring town, and this is my holiday meal.
Well, I hear the pork chop is very popular.
I was going to say, I can answer that one. We had a group, a friend of mine, a local spine surgeon, he had a group of about 6 people sitting in one of the corner round booths that we have, and this 6'5" Irish guy that was in from out of town visiting was sitting there. So he looks at me and goes, so you're the proprietor? I said, it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, it depends on who you are.
And he said, and he had his menu open, and he said, I love the menus because the menus are backlit, so you can see what you're doing without
so
you don't
important.
You don't need an
talking
iPhone.
about that often.
Yes.
He's like, this is clever in the first place. I said, okay, I'm screwing up the Irish brogue and I should know it. But he said, do you have a recommendation? And I just asked him, I said, do you like a pork chop? And he said, yes. And I just took his menu, closed it, and I walked away. And I said,
Sir, we'll be right back.
I said, I'm going to put you to bed on that one. And I asked him how it worked out at the end. The pork chop is just taking Long Island by storm.
Wow.
And Michael makes Mike. There's so many things, and I'm a pretty finicky eater. Finicky in the sense that I'm easy to please. I eat the same thing over and over again. But a lot of the things that Michael makes are really, really excellent. But the pork chop is just taking Long Island by storm. So we have some pretty tough critics coming in saying, I hear you have a good pork chop. I said, well, you let us know at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Signature cocktail.
Oh,
Anything that you would pair.
That you would pair.
Yeah.
as far as cocktails are concerned, I'm more of a wine person.
Yeah.
I've curated the wine list as well.
Yes.
Kevin's allowed me to do that, and
Wine spectator.
yeah, we did receive a Wine Spectator Award. But if
You don't have to be subtle about that. That's a
That's
big deal.
amazing.
We don't want to
That's
sneak
amazing.
that under the radar there.
Yeah, it's a nice accomplishment.
Yes, it is. Recognition.
And we're trying to curate a nice wine-loving clientele, and I think we're accomplishing that as well. As far as cocktails are concerned, we have some great mixologists at the bar, and they do a great job and they're ever changing. So that's a tough question to answer.
Yeah.
And
because they're changing them all the time.
And we do link the cocktails to the specialty cocktails to the shows. So
that's great.
there's always a new slew of drinks that we made up as specialty cocktails as the shows change. Each show runs for 2 months at a time. We do 6 shows a year. So there's always a new batch coming up that I see coming up on this specialty menu. So
it's amazing. Another recognition that you have is Open Table as one of the most romantic restaurants in the U.S.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard.
Me too.
I will say, when we heard the announcement, it was all across the nation. It was the top 100 restaurants, most romantic restaurants in the country, and there was only 2 from New York. Only 2 from the state of New York. It's us and the River Cafe.
Wow!
Now, I don't know if you've been to the River Cafe. It's a spectacular place under the Brooklyn Bridge, and I went there, 100 years ago when my wife and I were dating, and to be put in that kind of category, it really
the nautical competition.
the whole thing. Yeah, it's on a barge floating under the bridge, basically. It was very, very good company. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But as much as we talk about the 38-year-old couple coming in from a mile and a half away, probably our biggest customer is Florida.
Wow.
And you learn as you go. And I'm a data geek in my own way, and I look at where people are coming from, trying to learn what are the trends, what's resonating, what's not, and it's very much in line with what you're thinking at a different stage in life, So you got the 38-year-old couple that needs to get away for the night from the kids, and that's one side, but the 78-year-old couple. They used to live, I don't know, in East Northport on Long Island. Right. They now live in Naples.
Right.
They're coming up to see their kids and their kids' kids, their grandkids. So they come up, they get checked into the hotel at 4 o'clock. They drive a couple miles away to see their kids and grandkids, have a wonderful time, have dinner with them. Then they're like, all right, we're going back to have a nightcap. A little nightcap at the hotel.
Yes.
And then wake up at their own time without like a little kid driving a big wheel through the middle of the house the next morning, So, but I mean, every other order for not tickets, I'm on the other business. Every other order for our rooms bookings are for Florida.
Wow.
It's amazing. I mean, it's a statistical anomaly.
So it obviously has to do with, friends and family coming back
Yes.
to see, like you said. But this hotel has 26 luxury boutique rooms.
Yes.
I think it looks so much bigger than only 26 rooms.
Right.
But I think it's because the luxury of these rooms, how beautifully done, it's just incredible.
Yeah, we only own one hotel. This is it. It wasn't like we're building 10 of them, and we tried to build them as cheap as possible to try to get the best return possible. We decided to go for it, and
all out.
I'm 62 years old. I started this when I was 52.
Life is too easy, right?
Yeah. My wife's like, we're gonna do what? We don't know anything about owning a hotel or restaurant. I go, we'll figure it out.
Well, you got friends.
But we know what we want from a hotel. We know what we want from a restaurant. So just like we know what we want from a theater, and but it's just an ever-changing dynamic that we're dealing with every single day. And I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought of where I was going with the where the customers are coming in from.
Yeah.
It amazes me. But to your point about the luxury rooms, sorry. Yeah, we decided to make the rooms. They're not oversized.
Right.
I think oftentimes, to get down granular on it, I think oftentimes a hotel room is too large and the bathroom is too small. So we put double vanities in every bathroom. We put separate water closets for where the toilet area is with a pocket door, so someone could be blow drying their hair, someone could be using the facilities. Trying to think about the different things that annoy you about a typical hotel room.
Right.
And then we went for it. It's all, the real goal was to make the whole entire building feel like that distant aunt that has the big house on the water that you kind of go and visit. It's the creaky place, it's an old residence. And that's what we wanted to make it feel like, much more of a residential feel rather than commercial. So there's coffered ceilings in every room and woodwork and detail that you never see.
Yeah.
And it's been very, very well received. We keep it immaculate. That's, not because of COVID standards. It's just because of the way
it's Kevin's standards.
It's our accountability and the standards that we need to meet. We have a responsibility, I say from the restaurant, most importantly, someone's going to be using a fork or a knife or a glass. We have a responsibility for people to have a hygienic experience when they're here. And same thing with the restrooms. We go into some restaurants on Long Island deemed to be good restaurants, but meanwhile, the restrooms are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an embarrassment. Like, what, and it's like hitting a home run and tripping going around third base because you turn off someone by something so simple as just providing for a clean environment for someone.
I think it's really important, obviously, when you own any business, but this particular one, that you act like a client.
100%.
So even when you were saying like going up and the bathroom is large, I just know when I go to hotels, we check out the sleeping area good, and then we go into the bathroom. We're like, oh, check out this bathroom, because you want that luxury. You want to know I'm coming here. That shower head is amazing. That's a
right.
large tub. That's and double vanity.
To your point, the shower. No, each shower stall is 3.5 foot by 5.5 feet. Mandated. Wow. My architect says it doesn't have to be that big. I said I don't care. Yeah. I want the shower. We're building a building with a blank canvas. We had nothing here. We had a hole in the ground. Yeah. I want the showers to be at least 3.5 foot by 5.5. I said, I'm 5'10" on a good day, but these guys that are 6'5", they, you climbing into a bathtub to step into a shower head that's down by their chin. I mean, it's embarrassing.
And don't get it wrong. The little ones, we want a big tub and a big shower space too. We want to be able to stretch our arms out,
do the backstroke.
And so it doesn't feel like home. You know what I mean? That's why you get it. That's why you go away.
Exactly. And there's radiant heat in all the bathroom floors, the hotel rooms, and people like.
That's incredible.
When we were building the building, my construction manager, we were at that stage of where we're trying to cut costs. Like, oh, we're way over budget. How do we handle this? And he's like, we could take this out. It's X amount of dollars out of the project. I said, nope. I said, because what's going to happen is a couple's going to come into town, stay at the hotel because they're in town for a wedding. Yeah. It's going to be like a cold February weekend. And then they're going to write a review 2 days later on TripAdvisor. And what that review is going to say, what's that?
How cold the bathroom floors were.
Yeah, they're going to say, you know what? The town was gorgeous. The wedding was great. They were wonderful. But you know what? We stayed at this cool little boutique hotel, unbelievable food, and they had heated floors in the bathrooms. Yeah. And the amount of times we get those reviews because of the floors, it's not saying to do it, but I think it's more a point of a nuance that we went to. Just like the backlit menus they're not making the food taste any better.
No, but that's so important.
But it's detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really important.
Yeah. I think so too.
The cleanliness of the bathrooms, the way those housekeepers keep this, the hotel and the restaurant immaculate. Mm-hmm. And it's a testament to our hotel managers and everyone that we work with. And I literally, when we get a review that comments on the bathrooms being clean. Yeah. I take that review. I typically go get one of our servers or one of the guys in the kitchen that Michael would get me connected with that can speak English and Spanish. Yeah. Because typically the porters that are cleaning the restrooms in the restaurant speak Spanish. So when they see me coming with one of the servers, they're in trouble or something like that. I go, no. I said, interpret this review, the compliment on how nice the bathrooms are and how well kept they are for the porter that's cleaning the bathrooms. And then all of a sudden their face brightens up because they see oh, this is a compliment. I like them being recognized for their efforts. Absolutely. Michael is the maestro in there with the kitchen and everything going on and making he's the big name, rightfully so. But there's so many moving parts to making this whole place a quality experience that we're never going to let up on that.
No,
it's just a sign of great leadership. Anyway.
Absolutely.
I mean, you get that. That doesn't necessarily have to be passed along, but that's an important detail that your patrons will notice. And so that's a great on your part. Is there anything in 2026 we can look forward to here, whether it's menu alterations, sommelier type of things, or anything going on across the street or even in the hotel?
Well, we're always trying to improve. I have a saying, and I post it in the kitchen. You can walk into the kitchen, you'll see it posted. Good enough is never good enough. And that's kind of our philosophy throughout the organization. So you'll see some menu changes, improvements on the menu items we have now, and just all across the board. We'll just keep striving to be better.
Yeah, I'm very curious with the 250th anniversary of the country. What can be done this year? We have a cool big parking lot in the back. Could we do some some really cool celebration back there for just to be we'd be at that point in time almost 3 full years in business, and celebrating that and just the 250th anniversary of the country. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on over the course of the year. Trying to see how we're not doing something cheesy, trying to do something that would be in keeping with doing something special. But as Michael said, we're always trying to improve. We're always trying to do business, and we're trying to do it the right way. Make sure we're doing business the right way, and to the point about the people, about accountability and standards. We've had some people that worked here that, for whatever reason, just were not a fit. Mm-hmm. And, they might think we're over the top about trying to keep things too clean or whatever. That's okay. There's a time and place for them somewhere else, and it's just not a fit. But the folks that stay here, they want to be here. They're passionate about the place. Dedicated. And they're very dedicated, mm-hmm. Correct. And the Ryder Cup deal was a huge deal for us. Yeah. And the team that we had here were, they really... Quite honestly, we were doing things on the fly. This was a big buyout for us for the week. All kinds of very subjective demands that we never do. Right. That was like, okay,
doing cartwheels for them.
We're doing it, and Michael was leading the charge on this and throwing things against the wall, see what sticks. And it was really cool because the staff, I spent a lot of time with them individually to talk with everybody to let them know how important that week was for us. Yeah. Yes, it was a big client, and we want to make a good impression, but it's the first time we were doing something of that nature. I'm telling you, all the furniture in this restaurant was taken out Saturday morning, put in a truck. Wow. They brought in a whole new slew of furniture to make it a big lounge for the day and night. Wow. And then by 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, it was all put back again. So it was a lot of on-the-fly things. And I can tell you, the team that was here, they were proud to be part of this place. They were proud. They knew something significant was happening. Mm-hmm. And even if they had a hard language barrier, we would make sure they understood exactly what was going on. But they were very, very passionate and proud of being there, And, we try to create a real positive work environment. We have extremely low turnover, and that's unbelievably rare.
Exactly.
In this industry, and there's a reason for it, and we treat people the right way, and it's really at the end of the day not that hard. But it's common decency for the most part, and thinking the way. If one of your kids was working here, how would you want them treated? Absolutely. And end of story. So that's what we do. And it's been well received. I think the biggest thing for us is growing the awareness of it. The first thing on the list when someone's coming up from Florida, mm-hmm. they're looking for lodging. And this is a new lodging facility on Long Island. It hasn't been here in over 100 years. Right. It's something out of nowhere. And the Hampton Inn in Huntington, on Main Street in Huntington, that's new lodging. Mm-hmm. But the area is the most undisturbed area in the entire United States on a per capita basis for lodging, centrally located North Shore, Long Island. Right. And so there's this, I've lived in Huntington, Lloyd Harbor area for over 50 years, and we used to always have to drive to the LIE to get to the Hilton or the Marriott or something, Yeah. And, now there's a couple new things in town that we can where people can occupy. And so getting lodging in any case was very difficult to do. Yeah. Municipalities all across the island of getting approval. You got to be prepared to go through the long haul. Yeah. And that's why there's such a shortage of lodging. But then to have the caliber lodging, I think that we're providing here, it's for the discerning customer, but it's not snobby or snooty, it's treating people the way you want to be treated in a quality facility.
And that's where we come in. Yep. For you, because that's what we do best. Mm-hmm. Getting the word out for you, getting this huge lodging property, the theater, the restaurant on the map is incredible. We're so excited. I love it here. Is there anything else that you think that you want to talk about that we haven't mentioned?
No, I think it's like going to Maine, but saving 7 hours.
Yeah, and come 100%. Experience it for yourself.
Come experience it for yourself.
We'll have a separate conversation with you guys about LI 250 and the U.S. Open coming in June.
Great.
Yes. But thank you for hosting us.
Yes.
Thank you for coming, so much. And thank you for all you do. It's
we like the support. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, it's a gallant effort to try to get people from outside the area to look at Long Island as other than the Hamptons. Right. And I'm not knocking the Hamptons. No. When we were building this place, one last thing and I'll end. The Hampton Inn in Huntington, it was initially approved as a 40-room boutique hotel. Okay. the financing fell through for that. It sat dormant for a number of years. Then a real hotel guy came in, George Sudas came in, who knows what he's doing. He's got 12 hotels. He came in, did a beautiful job replicating, tying in the old town hall building, which the Hampton Inn building is, and then and tied it in to try to make it as look aesthetically pleasing as possible. But there was a lot of pushback by community residents in the area. They were saying they were disappointed because it was the Hampton Inn. They thought it was going to be a boutique hotel. So people were coming to me when we were, elbow deep in sheetrock dust and we're trying to build this place. People come up to me like, "Are you building a Hampton Inn?" I go, "No, we're building an inn that belongs to the Hamptons." So,
Yeah.
that's my little touche with the East End. But if we can replicate, or if we can be considered in the category of some of the facilities on the East End of the island, we're doing a really good job, and that would be just like recognition from Wine Spectator.
Yep.
Put you in another category. But if someone's going to start to say that this facility matches or surpasses other facilities out east or in Maine, then we know we're on the right track.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're shooting for.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, how amazing were they?
Yeah.
They were our Taste of Long Island this week, and they've also provided us with these delicious cocktails from the bar. I am having the Winter Wonderland, which is Kettle One, white cranberry, and lemon.
And I'm having Jingle Juice, which is reposada, cranberry, and lime.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I loved having them. They were amazing. Let's get into Long Island life, because we are here in Northport and we just need to talk about it. Celebrating a Long Island legend, the Long Island Music Entertainment Hall of Fame announces Billy Joel Symposium. The Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame is shining a spotlight on one of Long Island's greatest hometown icons, and it's first ever Billy Joel Symposium taking place June 6th and 7th at Stony Brook University.
Yeah, so the event celebrates the piano man's deep roots on Long Island and his lasting influence on music, storytelling, and American culture.
Amazing. And speaking of Billy himself, he actually reshared our story on Instagram, showcasing Mike Del Giudice as our performer at our gala. So that was really incredible. Thank you, Billy. We love you. Come on the pod. Thank you.
That was nice to be surprised with that day.
Absolutely. Long Island community comes together to honor fallen veterans. More than 7,500 fallen service members were honored at Long Island National Cemetery in Farmingdale during a powerful wreath-laying ceremony that brought together volunteers, military families, and members of the Civil Air Patrol.
The annual tradition reflects Long Island's deep respect for those who served, as the community united to ensure every hero was remembered and every sacrifice honored, showcasing the region's commitment to its veterans. And there is no lack of how Long Island appreciates its veterans. I feel
Absolutely.
like we speak about this maybe
Suffolk
every
County
episode.
is the largest in the country population of veterans. I think over 100,000.
Yep.
MTA says no more peekaboo tickets. Activate before you board. Starting in 2026, the Long Island Railroad and Metro North riders who wait to activate mobile tickets until they see the conductor could get hit with a $2 surcharge.
Yeah, so there's no more playing ticket roulette. I mean, if you've ever ridden the railroad, if you sit in that aisle seat, all you do is watch your neck. See, like, did that door close because they're coming through? Am I going to make it to my next stop? Unfortunately, tickets now auto-activate at purchase, so your future self cannot procrastinate anymore.
I love that. Tell us what you have to think about this. Hot Teas, sound off in the comments. Escape to Caribbean from Long Island MacArthur Airport. We love our airport. ISP is amazing. Long Island travelers can now trade the hustle for a tropical escape with convenient flights from MacArthur Airport in Ronkonkoma.
I can't wait for our next remote in the Caribbean.
Cancun?
So from the pristine beaches of Cancun and Riviera Maya to the hidden gems of Vieques, which was on my list so long ago. And I thought something happened to it during one of the hurricanes. I'm very happy to hear that it fought back and people are still going. So Vieques and Culebra in Puerto Rico, or the sunny Gulf Coast vibes of Fort Myers and Tampa. There are plenty of destinations to soak up the sun, sand, and culture.
I'm there for it. Southwest and JetBlue offer direct flights, making it easier than ever to sip cocktails by the ocean, explore historic sites, snorkel in crystal clear waters, and unwind with all-inclusive resorts.
With craft beer pubs, steps from the gates, and stress-free airport vibes, your Caribbean getaway is closer than you think. So,
I'm there.
yes,
I'm ready.
Very excited for that.
This weekend on Long Island, sponsored by East End Getaway, your go-to resource for all things happening in the East End. Friday, December 26th, Winter Fun Action Holiday Edition at the Long Island Aquarium. Working during the Christmas break, drop your kids off for some winter break fun at the Long Island Aquarium. Kids 5 to 11 will tour the aquarium, feed the stingrays, check check out the sea lions, visit their arcade, watch a movie. They have a ton of stuff to do, but rest assured that your child is having a good time in a safe and fun and educational environment.
Brian, I still want to do the shark dive.
This is amazing. This is available December 23rd through the 26th. So Christmas Eve, drop your kids.
Christmas Day.
Go shopping.
Some bad stuff's going on at home. Bring them over to the aquarium. And then on Saturday the 27th, West Hampton Holiday and Indoor, which is nice, farmers market. Enjoy handmade goods, art, clothing, jewelry, specialty foods, baking goods, baked goods, farmers market, and more. This is the last day of the year to enjoy. So that's Saturday, December 27th. And for more events and things to do on the East End this holiday season, visit eastendgetaway.com.
Amazing celebrity. Napoleon Dynamite turns 20 with special night out in Patchogue
I feel
Theater.
like this would be something.
Oh my God, we are going. The fans can celebrate 2 decades of the fan favorite comedy with a one night only anniversary event at the Patchogue Theater on Saturday, April 25th. The evening features a full screening of the endlessly quotable film, followed by a live Q&A, which stars John Heder and John Grease and Efron Ramirez, making it a must-see Long Island night out packed with nostalgia, laughs, and pop culture.
That'll be one of those events that people go dressed as the characters. I feel like there's a lot of potential for a lot of Napoleons. There was one other thing that is unfortunate news. Celebrity Long Island's own Amy Schumer announced on social media that she will be splitting from her husband, and those things are always, well, they're not always sad.
Sometimes.
Speaking firsthand, you know, people grow apart. I just wanted to shout out her post because that's the announcement. Yeah. And this was it. Blah, blah, blah. Which is just like the perfect way to start it. Chris and I have made the difficult decision to end our marriage after 7 years. We love each other very much. We'll continue to focus on raising our son. We'd appreciate people respecting our privacy at this time. Another blah, blah, blah. Not because I dropped some pounds, which was like big.
She does look amazing,
yeah. Amazing. And thought I could bag a basketball player, and not because he's a hot James Beard award-winning chef, which is very true, who can still pull some hot tail. Amicable and all love and respect, family forever.
Oh,
sometimes
that
that's
is
just
lovely.
How you say it.
Yeah, that is a beautiful.
It doesn't have to be a conscious uncoupling. It doesn't have to be brutal, where it's tweets going back and forth.
Right.
It's like blah, blah, blah. It's our business.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yep, and that's
We're
it.
done.
So shout out to divorcees.
You're right.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Listen, we talked a lot about this beautiful downtown Northport. If you have not come here, please do so. It is an incredible destination, and they're truly, truly making it even more beautiful every day.
Easily accessible. A load of things to do. There is no need to say, all right, so we go to this town. What does our itinerary look like?
Right.
It is very, very simple. Eat here, drink here, stay here, go across the street to the theater.
And enjoy a show, Broadway show. I mean, that's amazing. Incredible episode. Thank you, Stacy.
I'm kind of sad it's over.
I know. Let's hang it up so we can drink our cocktails.
Yes. I love you.
I love
you. Started doing this in May.
Yes.
So it's been six-ish months, and strive to get better and better on this, and just thanks for giving me the opportunity, and I love doing this with you.
I love you co-hosting with me. Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays, guys.
The Long Island Tea Podcast is brought to you by Discover Long Island. For exclusive access to contests and promotions, follow Long Island Tea Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And for questions, comments, and collaborative inquiries, email spillthetea@discoverlongisland.com.